It was mandatory shutdown.
Yeah. And then because that time people are afraid to go out.
Mm-hmm.
And then they also don't, the government also, they implant like national security law. So it make people become more afraid to join.
And what's the national security law?
The national security law is saying that, if anyone like criticizing the Chinese Communist Party and making people think that they have negative image, hurting their reputation, so you will be arrested.
Wow.
So it just not apply to Hong Kongers, but apply to everyone in the world, and then in everywhere.
You mean the law says anybody in the world, or anybody in China, or
It doesn't really said that, but it said like if some people doing this, they are convicted law and they can be arrested.
wow.
So even some U.S. consular, I think they already convict the law also. So because if you criticize China or Hong Kong government, yeah.
I see. So if you criticize the Chinese government or the Communist Party, and you go to China,
Yeah.
then they can arrest you.
Yeah.
Wow. Just for criticizing or speaking your mind.
Criticizing. So like just now, I talked to you about
Yes.
some bad thing about China or Hong Kong. So if I go back to Hong Kong later, I can be arrested.
Wow.
So that's why even Hong Konger in overseas, they're afraid about the national security law. So even they're in overseas, we don't have the freedom of speech.
Wow.
And then just a few of us will speak out. Even we are doing the protest in Canada, many people, they will cover their face. Because if you do protest here, you can be arrested when you go back to Hong Kong.
And you have protested here, correct?
Yes.
So what's your plan? Like you won't go back to Hong Kong?
I won't go back to Hong Kong because it's very scary, and my friend will like worry about me. And then because like just in the beginning of this year, a Hong Kong girl, she's studying in Japan, and then during her study, she left some message in her Facebook like, Hong Kong should be independent, or like criticizing the Chinese government. And then when she go back to Hong Kong, she was arrested.
Wow. For just posting on her Facebook.
Yeah.
Wow.
So we don't know how the Chinese government, they're monitoring us. I even heard my friend saying that he has family in Hong Kong. And one time his family was like criticizing the Hong Kong government in a restaurant. And then a few days later, they receive an anonymous call. And they're just saying that don't speak too much.
Wow. So they're just talking in the bathroom, and then they get an anonymous phone call where...
in the restaurant.
Wow.
Yeah, so they just talk in the restaurant and then get anonymous call to warn them, don't talk too much. So, and then also now, because I have a friend in Hong Kong, they're teacher, they're social worker, and then now the school require them to swear that you are obey to the basic law and also obey to the Hong Kong and Chinese government if you want to do your job in school.
So it's like a pledge, or describe what they have to do to like sign something?
Yeah, they need to sign something and then like promise they won't talk about political things to the students.
If they want to teach.
Yeah.
So if you want to teach in Hong Kong right now, you have to sign documents saying that you won't criticize the government or speak about politics or things like this.
Yeah.
Wow.
So yeah, even the teacher and then the student they need to attend a class called national security class. So in that class, they will teach that they have to love their country, and then something like that. Like they just want to turn Hong Kong student to be very obey to the Chinese Communist Party.
And when did this start?
I think it's also within this 1 year. Yeah.
Within the last year, like
Yeah.
like 2022 or 2023, something like this.
After the national security law.
Wow. So what's the average citizen in Hong Kong like? What do they feel in this moment?
I think a lot of them want to move to other countries, and we have data showing that there is 200,000 Hong Kong people moved to other countries within the past 3 years.
3 years. 200,000 people moved out.
Yeah.
And what's the size of Hong Kong?
I don't know, but it's like smaller than Vancouver, smaller than Calgary.
Really? So like Vancouver has like 1.5, 2 million people, something like this. So it's less.
Hong Kong have 8 million people,
8 million.
but we have a very, very small land. So it's very crowded.
I see. Okay. 8 million people.
Yeah, 8 million.
And they lost 200,000, which is a very large percentage of the population.
Very large.
And the younger generation you were talking earlier, like they are starting to obey or listen more, or they're more are they more in line with their parents? Like is it? I guess what I'm trying to ask, the Chinese government's trying to implement policies like you were saying to make people obey. Do you see the younger generation? Are they obeying more, or like what's your perspective on that?
I don't know actually because I haven't been to Hong Kong for 3 years already. So I don't know how the young people right now. Yeah, but during the protest, I see very young people, like some 8 years old people. They know what happened. They want to stand up. Yeah, and then like the student now in university, that time a lot of them was joining the movement. Yeah, so but I don't know how they're doing now. Yes. But I believe that once you are awake, you can't sleep again.
Once you're what? I'm sorry.
It's like that once you know that the Chinese government party, they're controlling you, and then you can't accept it anymore. Like
Yes.
Yeah.
I know what you mean. And are there any people who that you know, or like friends of yours that are okay with or accept or like the change, like to like the Communist Party?
of course, in here a lot, especially in Vancouver.
There's a lot of people who like it in Vancouver.
Yeah, some seniors or some middle-aged people. Like
I see. Like people from Hong Kong.
people from Hong Kong, because that time it's very interesting. Like that time in 1989, they're afraid of the Chinese government. They don't trust them, so they moved to Vancouver or Canada. But during the recent 20 years, they saw, China become very strong and they are very powerful to become a Chinese.
I see.
Yeah, so they suddenly like stand in the Chinese Communist Party that side. So also the media, the Chinese media here, most of them they're controlled by the Chinese government.
How is that possible? How is the media in Vancouver controlled by the government of
Like
China?
the Chinese TV station, like the Fairchild, they are controlled by part of them are controlled by a TV company in Hong Kong, and that TV company are controlled under the Chinese government.
So they broadcast out of Hong Kong into Vancouver?
Yes.
Oh,
So
okay.
the news, what they pick in Hong Kong is like trying to frame that, oh, the protester, they're very violent and they're not obeyed. So many people in Vancouver, they are receiving such news. So
I see.
if they don't search other news online, they will think, oh, that's the truth. That's what happened in Hong Kong. So the police, they're doing the right thing. So the protester, they're against her. They will think in
Wow.
that way. So that's why some of the people in Vancouver, they will support Chinese government.